hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Well, now, what is smart money? Well, you know, it's that thing that is caused by an algorithm. Everything in smart money, we do not believe in retail. It is all just an algorithm. Even Ethereum, the Ethereum, where it has made a massive high today, because this was the old high back here, right? And I do have this one on Coinbase. I remember I was telling people about, you know, about this 4-hour gap down here, and that this is where I put this is where I put an entry. And the reason I put an entry here because, okay, if you look at all this prior to, even though I marked out all these fair value gaps, it doesn't matter. It looked like it was balanced already, right? So we had this guy that came up, dropped, came back up, and then it seems like, especially I think it was more like on a 4-hour basis, that was the area that broke those highs. Yes, it's exactly what I was looking for. So even though you have these guys that have these big wicks and whatnot, they drop down, and then coming back up, you have this red, and this is why I was doing this on the 4-hour. You do have a bearish candle, and then boom, after this bearish candle, this one just takes off, and all of these candles, it basically can act as one, and they close above all of these. So since that happened, this is where I see the bottom. This is this number right here, 41.28. That's where I see the bottom. That's where I drew my fib, right? And so since that's where, and that was after it created the high. So after it pulls back, I expected it to at least get back to the 4-hour fair value gap, which it did. And then after that, I'm telling people, okay, now that I got back to the 4-hour fair value gap, but what it actually did is, if you look at the daily, it came down into the daily order block, which would be this big red candle right here. Okay, so came down to the daily order block and then decided to boom, take off after that. So now that it came down to the daily, the next thing you're going to be looking for is you're going to go one time frame lower to look for some kind of rejection, or possibly, yeah, basically a rejection, which is what this was here. You have a 4-hour bearish order block here. What is a bearish order block? Well, that would be your last up candle before your down candles close, right? So that's what this green candle is right here. So you have a bearish order block here, and boom, you can see it go up. And as it's going up, you got boom, you hits it once, hits it twice. Well, actually, boom, hits it once, and then falls back through the 4-hour for fair value gap. And again, also order block as well. And then you see it drop just a little bit further, but it doesn't drop it doesn't drop below the 100 like I thought it would. It doesn't drop any of those fair value gaps. It just drops almost about to the bottom of the body of this bullish candle. And then after that, it comes back up, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, basically in a row. Basically 4 in a row, almost at the same exact height. Now you have a lot of liquidity created. Now it's not going to reject at that point. Now people are going to think it's going to reject at that point because all the liquidity's been recreated, and they're going to say, oh, it's going to sell. But instead, what does it do? Boom, goes right through it. And that's I even put right here. Liquidity created, get ready to break this line. Because that's exactly what happened. And so it breaks the line. Boom. Now we have another line of liquidity. If we see that, let's go to the hour. All right, so that was that 4-hour liquidity line. Boom, comes down. Boom, comes back up. It rejects it a little bit. It even rejected it into a 15-minute fair value gap. An old 15-minute fair value gap. I can probably zoom in on this, and there was probably another fair value gap in this hour that it fell back into, and then boom, just breaks that 4-hour order block. Move this over a little bit, and then slowly but surely it comes up. And then I'm sure that probably in the 15-minute or the 5-minute, there was a bearish order block around here that also lined up with these highs on these two candles right here, which lined up with these candles right here, right? So now you have 2 more equal highs. What do? They backtrack. Where do they fall to, right? This one comes down. This one falls into another bullish order block. Be from here to here. Oops, hit the wrong button. Oh, come on now. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, there's a pause right on it. Never mind. All right, so since we created this liquidity line, like I said, it dropped back into this bullish order block, but temporarily, because then now it created this as a bearish order block, this guy right here. So all I have to do is do this, and well, I guess I'd get rid of the boom. There is your bearish order block now. So boom, it pushes it down. What does it do? It within the hour, we do have a fair value gap. I'm going to get rid of this 15-minute one. It looks like it dropped back pretty hard. Well, in the 15-minute, let's see if it probably filled in a 15-minute. No, it was about the same. To be honest, I don't know what these were some old daily order block. Well, these are daily order blocks, right? But it looks like we've already been up into them. And so we actually really don't need those anymore. Wait, I just moved that 4-hour fair value gap on accident. I did. Hold on, let's go back. Yep, I moved it. So I'm gonna get rid of those. days. There we go. Okay. Yeah, looks like it came down. It pretty much closed in this hourly fair value gap. Comes up. Let's see here. I think this is where I thought it would probably bounce off of. Just because of where, see how it kind of does this pattern here. That's where I thought it would bounce off of, but it didn't. So instead, I'm going to get rid of that line too, so we're not confused. Right, and then not only do we have this liquidity line here, and then it comes up to it one more time, breaks it, and this is where, again, people think they're going to catch a breakout, or they sell short, and people started chasing it, and as soon as they started chasing it, what did it do? Boom, blew right past them. This is what you got to look out for in smart money. You got to look out for these equal highs and equal lows. This is always going to happen. This is what I try to warn people about all the time. And we're making new high. I mean, we're pretty much making new highs as we speak right now on the on Ethereum. It is, Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday, November 2nd. Current time is 6:30. That would be Central Time. And what I did, see how after it broke those highs, right, came back down, stopped, and then boom, broke that high. As I said before, that's where, just as the other one that did the same thing, came up, came down, boom, broke that high. Same thing over here. Came up, came down, boom, broke that high. This is where I would be putting a fib. And it looks like it hasn't stopped. So even though you do have kind of a fib from here to here, it hasn't dropped back down into a premium. It did. Let me look at this. Yeah, that's just kind of a bunch of, it's just like a small consolidation going upwards. There's not really a defined breaker. Or a defined mitigation block. It's just continuing to go up. But even though from here to here, before it started pulling back, I thought it might hit the 50, and it didn't. It didn't even hit the 50. Okay, so let's go. Well, take this guy, move it. Put the weak guy on it. Still not even pulling back near the 50. Still no pulling back. So we are in new territory right now. As we speak, there is no point in having a fib on this thing because I have no idea what we're going to be doing. I mean, right now, as far as this fib is concerned, yeah, I'd probably be watching out for this, 42, 4628 area. That's about 1.5 times or 1.5 of the or half, as you can say. If you took the 50, right, of that fib, and then you just rolled it over, that's where it would land. And that's where I think it could possibly go. Could it go higher? Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, the golden fib is 162. I'm sure that's where everybody wants to see it go, which would be 4668. And then if it actually went double, we're looking at 470.92, 470.95. And we're just watching it make new highs. This is insane. And I would, and just think I was about ready to put a lot of money in Ether. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I don't want to jump in right now as it's making new highs. I want to wait for it to pull back. And I did so right here. I put some money in as it got into those areas. Not only did I trade futures with it in those areas, but I also added more to my portfolio. And after listening to, I don't know if you guys don't listen to Real Vision, you should. Real Vision is great. Raoul Paul, probably one of the smartest men alive. Very good things to say about Ether, and how much opportunity that we still have with Ether. Even though it's the second largest, it's still one of the best. One of the most, like I said, one of the ones that we have the most opportunities with, to make a lot of money. Because the way he described it and the way the mathematics of his worked, though it had, as much as we burn, as much as we use, as much as we, have out there, there's only about 11% of Ether in circulation. If you think about that, it's not really a whole lot for the price that it is. It's insane. So if we're only at about 11% in circulation of actual Ether at this price, this thing could easily outgrow Bitcoin in no time. I wouldn't say in no time, but in a very, very in a shorter time frame than what we think it probably would. All right. As we're hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow me on all of my social medias. I'm on Facebook, right? I'm on Twitter. I am on Minds. I am on Odyssey. I am on Medium. I'm on all of them. So if you can, give me a subscribe, give me a like, let me know that you learned something. If you didn't learn something, if you have questions that you want to ask, shoot me a message. My contact information is in the description box. I keep rambling. It is over 2 hours for me. I am hungry. I got to get off of here. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I'll see you all next time. And don't forget to, don't forget to eat. Don't forget to, to do those good things that you're supposed to do. Take care of yourself. But also, what was that one thing I was going to say? Don't forget to wear your pants. That's right. Don't forget to wear your pants.